Lightning round.
Andres asks, how did the disciples recognize Moses and Elijah during the transfiguration? They've been dead for 1,000 years.
So this is a great question, Andres. And I don't think we could say 100% for sure we know the answer, but I think we can make some reasonable inferences. So if we look at Mark 9, verse 4, let's read that. And it says, Elijah appeared to them with Moses, and they were talking with Jesus. So the disciples are there, Peter, James, and John. They're firsthand observers of this, and they're within earshot. So if they hear the discussion, what is probably the first thing Jesus would say when he sees Elijah and Moses?
I don't know.
I would presume Jesus would say, hey, Elijah, hey, Moses, how are you guys doing? And as they'll talk back and forth, at least in the context, it should start becoming clear who these people are. And then if we look at John 8, 56 to 58, we know Jesus would have recognized them because Jesus says in that verse, your father Abraham rejoiced to see my day, and he saw it and was glad. The Jews said to him, but you are not 50 years old, and have you seen Abraham? And Jesus said, most assuredly I say to you, before Abraham was, I am. Pointing to the I am who spoke to Moses. And if you read the story of Elijah, that same I am, maybe he didn't call himself that, but he appeared in a cloud to Elijah too. Christ was there speaking to both of them in person. Jesus knew what they looked like, and now Jesus would recognize them at the Mount of Transfiguration. And even if that was not the case, John 14:26 talks about, how the Holy Spirit works on the hearts of people, and he teaches all things and brings things to remembrance. So the Holy Spirit would have been there also at that time, inspiring the three apostles as to what was going on too. So either way, whether it's through the Holy Spirit or just overhearing Christ's conversation, they would have known this was Elijah and Moses in front of them. And what an incredible experience that would have been.
Definitely. I always think about that story too. I'm like, man, that would have been amazing. But I think there must have been something about them. Like, you think about in the book of Daniel, chapter 3, when, Nebuchadnezzar throws, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego into the fiery furnace. And he says, didn't I throw in 3 men? I see 4 walking around, and the 4th is like the Son of God. And it's like, how did he know the 4th was like the Son of God? And so there must have been something about that 4th man that was distinct, or just the way that Daniel and his friends reflected Christ in some way. In the same way, these men, there must have been some relationship that they had with Jesus that told them, oh, this must be, Elijah and Moses.
Exactly. Yep. I love it. It's such a mind-blowing story. And it's interesting, I think John and Peter both later write in their later letters about this experience on the Mount Transfiguration. It impacted them that much. So it's something definitely they were well aware of.
Yeah, definitely. And I think there's just a way that you connect with people that people kind of know, like, oh, I think this is who this is. Like, I would, Jay and Wendy sitting next to each other, like, if I didn't know you, I would be like, yeah, they have to be married. Like, there's some special connection. You just see, just with you guys together, like, you can just tell. Like, so I think that was also kind of, maybe a factor too in this situation.
That's a good point. That's right.